Hey, my mighty friends, what is up? I'm first things first. The channel just turned 8. Not just turned like I didn't know it was the 17th, and I'm happy. So thank you for all sorts of uh, just 8 years of nothing but fun. I'm going to do a top 5, and I'm going to do top 5 favorite Superman the animated series. I'm going to do Superman first because, well, Superman is before Batman. And I know Batman the animated series came before, but why not I do Superman first? And, yeah, I'll do Superman and then I'll do Lois and Clark. I don't care if they're all I don't care. List is a list. I'm going to do my top 5 favorite episodes. So, let's do this. Number 5, Nighttime from season 3. This is a fun one because we get in between of both series. And when we see with the Batman and Superman, and don't worry, I'm going to go through that after I do Batman because they have their own show, Batman and Superman show, the new Batman and Superman Adventures. And this was a fun one because we get some Bane love going on. And Bane has this really badass, better than Tom Hardy voice. And I think it's really cool. Number 4 goes to Little Girl Lost Parts 1 and 2. We get, I'm sorry if she's a cartoon or not, attractive. I'm sorry that I said it. Kara, we finally get Kara, aka Supergirl, and Granny Goodness, Female Furies. It's literally, I like how they did this. Basically, it reminded me of the episode of Smallville season 10. There's an episode in Smallville season 10 where we get Granny Goodness, the Female Furies, and this where she trains all of the little girls and turns them it's pretty sick and twisted, but pretty cool. And it's just Supergirl is badass, and I like this Supergirl, like the way she's drawn. I like how awesome she is, charismatic, and I like how and because it's not this episode, but how her and Barbara are with each other in the new Batman Adventures. Don't worry, I'll get to that soon. But love that episode. Next goes to number 3 is Last Son of Krypton from season 1, I think it's parts 1 and 2 of the first episode. And yep, parts 1 and 2. So yeah, pilot. And it's basically the first film, but a cartoon. Brainiac is the villain. I think Brainiac is the villain, and we just get this full introduction. And Superman is just an awesome animated series that it did what it did. When it's something like Batman Beyond, and I'm like, oh, I'm angry that it's not coming on anymore. This is a show that I don't get. We had 3 wonderful seasons, and they did what they could have, and I understand with that. So that's one thing I always liked about this series. Number 2, Speed Demons. As a kid, this is always one of my favorite episodes. You have, I don't know, one of the first times you don't have a full Superman villain. You have the Weather Wizard, Flash's villain. And I love how Flash and Superman are with each other. It's just so fun. And I love how you see in Smallville a lot of the homages of that episode run. Is exactly, I don't care what anybody says, is taken from this episode. I just like how they're just friends, and they want to see if which one's the fastest. Flash. So let's go to my number one favorite, and that is My Girl. I like how Clark is with the woman of the ladies of his life, and two of them are, one is Lois Lane, the love of his life, and then there's Lana, who it showed me how there's someone that I am incredibly in love with, but she doesn't look at me like that, and I don't look at her like that anymore. But and when I have that, above that, I find that person, I'll always remember her as the first love of my life. That's exactly how I learned that from Superman. You know what what I mean? So like this episode is my favorite episode because of that. I relate to that. We have an awesome time with Lex Luthor. We have an awesome time with, which I love how Smallville took a lot of credit and shit from this show. Lana Lang dating Lex Luthor, season 6, Smallville, and she's actually spying on what Lex is doing, and you see a lot of like people are like, oh, this is lighthearted. You watch something like this episode, it's pretty dark and it's fun though. So, My Girl, favorite episode of the series. That's my favorite. Those are my top 5 favorites. I hope you like this. Thank you for 8 years of doing this. It's all for yous. But that's my top 5 list. Hope you like it, and there'll be more on the way.